What will happen to the future of Rajasthan Royals and the Chennai Super Kings, the marquee teams of the IPL? With me in the studio is Nikhil Chopra, former India cricketer, Vinay Tiwari, our managing editor, Kunal Pradhan of India Today. Also joining me, Boria Majumdar, consulting editor sports. Rashesh Mandani is with us at the BCCI office, and Radhika is with us at outside the India Habitat Center. Now, Radhika has spoken a short while ago she's spoken to Aditya, who is, remember, the petitioner in this case. Let's just hear from Aditya Verma, the petitioner in this case, who had demanded that the spot fixing scandal be taken right to the doorstep of the BCCI and demanded a change in the functioning of the BCCI. Listen in to what Aditya Verma has had to say.
Okay, so we've got Aditya Verma with us here. He's obviously been fighting this case against the IPL spot fixing. Sir, आज verdict आने वाला है, बहुत लंबी लड़ाई रही है. The Lodha committee is going to deliver their verdict. What are you expecting from this verdict?
न्याय की जीत होगी और मुझे अपने देश के कानून पे पूरी आस्था शुरू से थी और आज भी है. और जस्टिस RM लोढ़ा हमारे सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के पूर्व मुख्य न्यायाधीश भी रह चुके हैं. साथ में 2 सुप्रीम कोर्ट के रिटायर्ड जजेस की बनाई हुई 3 सदस्यीय टीम जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने 22 जनवरी को गठित किया था. और मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि आज के फैसला BCCI के लिए एक सबक होगा, एक माइलस्टोन होगा. और पूरी उम्मीद है कि न्याय की जीत होगी और जो लोग भी गलत आचरण में लिप्त थे या जो लोग उनको कवर अप कर रहे थे, वो लोगों को सख्त से सख्त सजा देगी.
क्या सजा है जो आप चाहते हैं दी जाए? ऑब्वियसली बहुत सारे सिनेरियोज हैं. कहा जा रहा है या तो टीम को फाइन किया जाए, सस्पेंड किया जाए, पॉइंट्स डॉक किए जाए. आपके हिसाब से सबसे सिवियर क्या पनिशमेंट है जो इन टीम्स को मिलना चाहिए?
देखिए, फाइन पे तो मैं नहीं जाऊंगा, मैं जाऊंगा रूल्स पे. चाहे BCCI का एंटी करप्शन रूल देख लीजिए कि बैन होना है या टीम को टर्मिनेट होना है. लेकिन ये देश के सर्वोच्च न्यायालय की बनाई हुई समिति है. इनको बहुत सारे पावर हैं, बहुत सारे अधिकार हैं. तो ये क्या करने जा रहे हैं. लेकिन बीइंग ए पिटिशनर मुझे इतना जरूर एहसास हो रहा है कि जो भी फैसला होगा लास्टली कानून की जीत होगी.
और आप देखें, ऑब्वियसली गुरुनाथ मयापन, राज कुंद्रा, सुंदर रमन, बहुत सारे बड़े प्लेयर्स हैं जो इसमें इन्वॉल्व हैं. उनके खिलाफ किस तरह का आप चाहते हैं फैसला आए? और लोधा कमेटी ने BCCI को भी ओवरऑल करने के बारे में कहा गया है, जो ऑब्वियसली आज शायद नहीं आएगा. बट उन सब के बारे में आपका क्या मानना है?
देखिए, जब इन समिति को मौका मिला है तो ये समिति कुछ ऐसा कदम जरूर उठाएगी, क्योंकि पूरे आर्गुमेंट के दौरान सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने हमेशा कहा कि क्रिकेट एक जेंटलमैन गेम हिंदुस्तान में, क्या पूरे दुनिया में पहचान थी जेंटलमैन गेम के रूप में. लेकिन हाल फिलहाल में इन सब चीज़ों से क्रिकेट कलंकित हुआ है. जिस क्रिकेट को एक रिलीजन के माफिक इस पूरे देश में हर घर में पूजा किया जाता है. तो हमारा जो भी आदेश होगा, ऑर्डर होगा, हम लोग कोशिश करेंगे कि क्रिकेट फिर से जेंटलमैन गेम बन के निकले.
सर, आखिर सब
Okay, cricket must become a gentleman's game once again, says Aditya Verma. The question is now, has this become part of a real battle within the BCCI as well? Because remember, N. Srinivasan has been accused in the past of whitewashing this probe. He no longer is the BCCI president, but he remains the ICC president. Boria, what happens to N. Srinivasan? Does whatever the verdict today, is his position as ICC president secure?
Yeah, for the moment, yes. Because, directly, as long as the BCCI has said that till September he is BCCI's nominee in the ICC, this verdict will not pronounce anything on N. Srinivasan per se. So till September, and unless the BCCI wants to remove him, his position is secure. But if one understands the, ramifications of the verdict from within the BCCI and what is being said, in September lots to happen. And mind you me, the Chennai Super Kings 5 lakh story that we had broken, the legal opinion is yet to be made public. I understand that the legal opinion has come from a retired Supreme Court judge. The BCCI is yet to make it public. That will be another big test from Mr. Srinivasan. So several things lined up over the next few weeks that will test his ICC position. He was supposed to address a press conference, but he's not. Yesterday, his people have said, and today MCC has said, that Mr. Srinivasan, who was supposed to meet the press within an hour at Lord's as part of the MCC Cricket Committee, he's now walked away from that and he wants to do it closed door without meeting the press. So that tells you he's clearly under pressure.
Let's though look at N. Srinivasan at the moment, Kunal Pradhan, because The fact is that he is the one who said Gurunath Mayappan is a cricket enthusiast. When the first question was raised about betting, he says, you know, he's not a team principal, he is a cricket enthusiast. The Mudgal report clearly suggests that he was much more than that. He was involved with the team, he was involved in betting. Can Mr. Srinivasan escape scrutiny if today's verdict comes down hard on Chennai Super Kings and comes down hard on Mayappan? Is that the end of the road for N. Srinivasan, even in the ICC come September?
Rajdeep, N. Srinivasan has a role in the BCCI because of his hold on the Tamil Nadu Cricket Association. Right, that's how the BCCI functions. If his team is removed from the IPL, I think it's going to be the biggest blow on Mr. Srinivasan so far. In fact, a lot of people say that a lot of his actions over the last few months, last couple of years actually, have been to actually save the team. He wanted to make sure that come what may, his position as BCCI chairman and his team both get saved. See, the Lodha committee report, apart from giving the quantum of punishment on these three people today, is going to, in the future, in the not too distant future, perhaps pass regulations on how the BCCI should be run. Is going to make lasting changes on how elections are conducted, on conflicts of interest between, you know, officials and the roles that they play. And today, it's actually going to be a test for how hard they want to go. If a team like Chennai Super Kings gets banned, if the ICC gets reduced to 6 teams, because now it is clearly established that, you know, he was an official, that he wasn't just an enthusiast or somebody who's interested.
The challenge, which is why I'm asking, can Srinivasan escape scrutiny? Can he escape scrutiny? The fact is, he was seen to be backing Chennai Super Kings till the very end. His company did own the substantial share in Chennai Super Kings. His son-in-law, the team principal who was sitting with the players, is the one today who has been accused of betting. Can Srinivasan distance himself and say, I didn't know what was happening around me?
The short answer is, if Chennai Super Kings gets docked, if they get banned, it is actually a docking of Srinivasan.
That's what I want.
And a banning of Srinivasan.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, you know, absolutely.
Nikhil, do you agree with that? That, you know, is this, because the way the BCCI functions, they are like vultures, let's be honest. If they find that someone is wounded, they will go for the kill. Mr. Srinivasan, report suggests, has struck a deal with Anurag Thakur that he will stay as ICC president and at least till next July when his term ends. But if the verdict today goes against the Chennai Super Kings, does it make Mr. Srinivasan's position very vulnerable?
It is. I guess, you know, if the team gets suspended, of course, you know, when you're at the helm of things, you're also the president of the BCCI, Rajdeep, and also the team owner. It makes a big difference. And at the end of the day, if the team gets docked, Mr. Srinivasan, had things been sorted out at that moment in time when this whole scam broke out, if you remember, there was this BCCI that set up that committee, the 3 retired judges. Before the Mumbai police even filed the FIR or filed the charge sheet, the 3-member committee from the BCCI said these guys are absolutely in the clear. There is no problem whatsoever. Then the Mumbai police came up with the charge sheet and filed the FIR. Where did that get BCCI to stand? Had they taken, you know, steps very carefully and in the right direction, this day wouldn't have come.
Yes, Vinay, you were nodding your head. Yes.
Slightly different view, Rajdeep, because I think it's very important to let everyone know they shouldn't get confused about what's happening today. As an implication of what the committee is going to do today, Srinivasan faces absolutely no threat whatsoever. Because in this January order, the Supreme Court very clearly said that Mr. Srinivasan's attempts to pull off Mr. Gurunath Mayappan as a cricket enthusiast at best may only raise suspicion, but suspicion cannot be taken as proof, and hence question number 4 that was asked to the court, whether Srinivasan is guilty or not, stands negative. Srinivasan can be...
He's not negative in a court of law, Vinay, but what about the moral question? The moral question of protecting Gurunath Mayappan will arise.
I'm only making a distinction between what's going to happen today. By implication, there is a moral question that raises, but in the committee report that is going to be announced tonight or today in the afternoon, no action can or will be pronounced against Mr. Srinivasan.
Okay. The other, of course, question is the Rajasthan Royals and Raj Kundra. Remember, they are one of the high-profile owners of a team here. He is the husband of Shilpa Shetty. Suresh Menon is joining me, of Wisden at the moment, one of the country's senior-most sports journalists. Suresh, did you ever think that you would have to speak about Indian cricket in terms of spot fixing, in terms of the ownership patterns of franchises? Has the entire model of the IPL in a sense unraveled? The manner in which the IPL was set up, many believe the ownership was not transparent enough. How you got an IPL franchise, there was a huge question mark when it first started in 2008, and a bit of that has unraveled today, or could unravel today further.
Well, I think the seeds were sown right at the start. I think right when the IPL was founded, they already were built into it the conflict of interest problem as well as the lack of context problem. And if this had been sorted out right at the start, if Mr. Srinivasan and the others, Lalit Modi and the others had been conscious of solving a problem right at the start, we wouldn't have got into the situation today where the Supreme Court has to act virtually like the Board of Control for Cricket in India, which will cause a few other problems. It would open a Pandora's box, which we'll come to later, but it could open a Pandora's box. I was talking to some lawyers the other day, and they said that you could get into a situation, for example, where a player who's not selected can then take the BCCI to court or take the selectors to court, and we could have a lot more of the boardrooms being played in the board politics happening in the courtrooms rather than where they should be or should not be actually.
In that sense, Kunal, the ghost of Lalit Modi is still alive. Let's be honest, this entire creation of the franchise model, the entire IPL, the so-called conflicts of interest that were built in were in the time of Lalit Modi. Now, Lalit Modi could well argue that it was not me, we were a collective. But it was in 2008 that the seeds were sown, which we are now finding in 2015. To that extent, can we single out only these individuals today who will be named in the Lodha report? The entire BCCI will have to take some collective responsibility for the way the IPL has functioned as a subcommittee. It's been a subcommittee of the BCCI. It's not been a separate body at all.
Absolutely, Rajdeep. This whole thing is actually not the problem. This is a window into a larger problem. This is an opportunity. Like Suresh was just saying that I wish these guys had been conscious about what it was going to do. I will say it was exactly the opposite. They were conscious. They were conscious of the opportunity it presented. They were very conscious about what was happening, and they changed rules. They framed laws. They overwrote laws to make sure that they were able to be in a position where there were team owners as well as BCCI officials. That whole thing about the law, Article 360, whatever it was, being overturned by Sharad Yadav to allow Srinivasan to own a team. Sharad Pawar to allow Srinivasan to own a team. So they were very conscious of what they were doing. They saw this as an opportunity. They saw that now cricket, which makes us so many billions of dollars, is going to make us mega billions. And they got into this with their eyes open. What we are seeing right now is basically the worst case scenario of what they had created, and perhaps in the long run the only scenario that would have come out by what they had done back then 8 years ago.
And from what I can see, the IPL constitution is very clear. If any of your principals are found to be involved in betting or any activity which is against the spirit of cricket, the team has to be suspended. So purely by the rules of the IPL, a suspension would seem inevitable. Of course, there is a possibility of a fine in case it is decided that a suspension is seen as too drastic. But purely going by the law, Chennai Super Kings and Rajasthan Royals today face suspension, which is why this could be a turning point for the way the IPL has functioned, has been structured. Only yesterday, remember, a Mumbai cricketer has been found to have been pushing another cricketer to actually underperform in a particular match, and he too has been suspended. How deep is the rot in Indian cricket when it comes to the issue of spot fixing? Will we ever really know the truth of that?